Okay. I think with digital marketing is very important now. So the OTAs have become a lot stronger over the years. For us, when we started in the hotel, I started here in 2011. The OTAs only represented maybe 12 to 13% of our business. Now the OTAs actually represent up to 25% of our business. However, in the digital landscape, we can't just remember the OTA bookings, we also have our own online channels. So the OTAs are about 24, 25%, but our own online bookings is still about 9%. So we are seeing a growth, and that's obviously with the landscape changing, that digital is becoming more important to the hotel industry.
The government has been promoting the removal of border to develop tourism as a living ecosystem. So we have the visa free for citizens from five West Europe countries. Yeah. So how to assess the impact of the policy to increase the number of the tourists coming to Thailand?
Yeah. I think it's a great move on the government's part. It's actually now 13 countries. Of those, 11 are from Europe. So obviously, we are now competing a lot more. We can have a level playing field with countries like Thailand, where it is visa-free for 30 days. So that also the visa-free was 15 days, it's increased to 30 days. As a result of that, we are seeing an increase from certain markets. I think in the future, it will also be better if it's expanded to even more countries. I think we need to not only just look at European countries, but countries like Australia and New Zealand, which still are long-haul destinations, because a lot of Australians like to come to Vietnam. So there is an impact. However, countries like, maybe Sweden, Norway doesn't have a lot of opportunity to come to Vietnam as yet. We need to still open it up to more European countries and make it easier for people. It's not just visa-free, it should be even the process of getting a visa. It's easier since I came here 7 years ago, but we still have a way to go. We need to make the country accessible to everybody.
Tourism is considered as one of the most sensitive areas to technological development because its high global integration describe how the digital transformation is already developed.
I think we have to remember that hotels are still very much relationship building. It's still very much people orientated. So a hotel can be very digitally advanced. However, a guest still needs to have that personal recognition. So we need to balance between digitalization and personal service. But when we look at digitalization, it is so much better. I think you're aware that Starwood Hotels was bought by Marriott 2 years ago. Just at the middle of August, we had what's called LD1, which is where three loyalty programs became one. The part of this happened because now we have the same platform. So you could be a Marriott member or a SPG member. We know your history. We know what you like. So of course you have to opt in or opt out. So we can make a guest stay better. Same as with, you can, for those people who don't want to go to the front desk to check in, now you can do keyless check-in. So I think digitalization suits everybody. Either you can go to the extreme where I don't want to go past front desk, I can check in, or I can still have that one-on-one contact. So the hotel industry, we still have to balance between. We use digital technology, we use the tools we have to better deliver an experience to our guest. But again, as I said, it's very much still human contact. It's the smile, the personal service that makes a difference in a hotel, in my belief.
So what I see is the most advantage and disadvantage of our business is the digital transformation.
I think it's a lot more competitive. I think the advantage is that you have, for your bookings, a lot bigger opportunity, like open space, because you can work with a lot of OTAs. We have what we call direct connect, so Our B2B agents connect directly to our system, so it's a level playing field for rates. So it gives a consumer maybe more choice, but it makes it harder for consumers as well because there's so many opportunities to go. And that's why I think hotels like Marriott, IHG, big companies, we have what's called best rate guarantee. That means you don't necessarily have to shop everywhere. You can go to our website. But I think on the other side, the advantage as a consumer, you've got more opportunity. It's more, you can see everything. However, it makes it difficult for a consumer because there's so much choice. And I think for a hotelier as well, it becomes a consumer world where a consumer could not be happy, they can put something on digital media. It doesn't mean that that is always true. I think there's advantages to things like, doing reviews on Agoda, Booking.com, TripAdvisor. But we also need to remember that one review does not always make the truth of a hotel. We need to look at the whole landscape. So I think pros and cons, they balance each other. It all depends on the individual and how much interaction you want. But again, as I said, it makes, especially for a smaller, I guess, hotel or company, where they didn't have that distribution system, they had that opportunity to actually put their hotel out to a bigger audience. So for us as hoteliers, we need to embrace digital. We can't sit back and say, well, my hotel works without digital. You have to move with the times and progress to stay ahead.
So according to you, what is the trend of the future transformation in tourism development in the future, especially in Vietnam?
Well, I don't have a crystal ball. I guess I'm one of these people who probably doesn't like change as much. But I think Vietnam is still, we've really progressed in 7 years. I think there's a lot more opportunity and growth. I think it puts us on, it makes us compete with other international countries. I think Vietnam has not embraced or is not at the same level as tourism as maybe some other Asian countries. By having that digital accessibility, it makes us step up. It makes us have a better future. And I think we as individual enterprises, whether you're corporations, whether you're government, whether you're organizations, we all need to work together to continue to promote tourism within this country. It is an amazing country. There are so much opportunities. And by having that opportunity to reach a wider audience gives us a better opportunity to show what a beautiful country it is. And that's not just the main destinations like Saigon or Ho Chi Minh or Hanoi or Da Nang, Nha Trang, Phu Quoc. It's those smaller unknown places which people still want to go and discover. So I think digitalization and the future for Vietnam is still very bright and there's so much more opportunity. And, I'm still happy to, be in Vietnam and be part of the change. Okay. Done? Did I wobble?